Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? NZD here with you, and I just want to shoot a video, and we're going to talk about the worst recession in decades is coming, and we're going to talk about why it's coming, what kind of signs we can see that it's coming, and how we can work our way through this. But mostly about this video, we're going to talk about the signs that we're seeing that can prove that there's a recession. Not to mention that the CPI data came out, which was showing that it went up. The inflation went up, I think, about 0.3%, about 0.3 or something like that. Not exactly sure percent, but about it was like 8.1. Now it's like at 8.3 or something like that. And they're trying to keep it lower than that. So next thing you know, we're going to have a meeting. The Fed's going to have a meeting, and most likely it's going to put some more interest points on those interest rates. So they probably move it up probably like maybe about a half a point to a point basis. So let's talk about the recession and the worst recession in decades. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Ainsley D. And before I get into more of this and talking about this recession, make sure you hit that like button so other people can see this content and be able to know this content is of value. So the YouTube algorithm can also let people know that this is of value. So let's get into it. And we're going to talk about the different things. So we got the economy is definitely slowing down. We got stock market is very volatile, going up and down. All right, so check this out. So we can definitely tell that this is going to be one of the worst recession in decades. And I got a little bit of notes of some things that I was jot down. So one of the things that we're talking about is a rise in misdemeanor crimes like thefts, petty thefts, going to stores, stealing groceries, stealing clothes. A lot of people, you see those like those mass like coming to the stores, and then all of a sudden a whole bunch of people just grab those stuff, like mass grab and go type things. See, a lot of stuff is like that is going on. In addition to a lot of town and state is loosening up on crimes like those. So it's like you're not getting a harsher punishment. You're still getting punished, but it's like instead of doing a lot of time, you're getting, maybe a slap on the wrist. You do what you do. Next thing you know, you're probably doing the same crime again. So a lot of those crimes, they say, is definitely on the uptick right now. Another thing that you can check out is landlords evicting people. A lot of landlords, either they're evicting people because of, those moratoriums, things ran out. It's time for them to collect and they can't collect. Like some things that I see, they want to renovate some of their apartment buildings, or they even want to move them themselves and get rid of their tenants. And some things that also that you can take note of is some apartments are evicting the older tenants, and even tenants who are like been at their units for a while, and start to remodel some of those units because a lot of people, especially in certain generations, they're starting to get rid of their house. They're starting to sell their house. They only want to deal with their house and things like that. So they go into the avenue of renting. And it's all part of that, probably part of that whole great reset movement, getting people into that mindset. I'm going to talk about that. That's a whole nother video. So we're going to talk about the great reset in a whole nother video. So also some data that's changing that can show that it's a recession is used cars are selling more than brand new cars. So, you usually have people going to the dealership, the car dealerships, brand new car come out like every 2 to 3 years. And they go in, they probably even trade in their old cars and get into new car. What's going on now is more people starting to buy the older model cars and even just sticking with the older model cars instead of trading them in and buying the newer models. Instead of trading them in and buying the newer models. So even just paying attention to those data, and even the used car prices are going up, but it's not as much as it's not as much as the new cars. So therefore, a lot of people are sticking to the used cars, and used cars is selling way more than the new cars. So that's one way that you can tell that it's a recession. Another way that we can see that it's a recession going on is there's a negative cash flow with hotels, especially with hotels that rent out as apartments. So you will have hotels and they will have out like different suites and things like that, especially in big cities. And those suites will be rented out to people, so especially people that like to travel. So they will stay here for like 4 or 5 months. But those right there, the cash flow and those are cutting back. I guess more people are not doing more movements like that anymore, and they're just sticking to their one apartment. So even the cash flow in hotel rooms are also going down. Not as much people are going and booking hotels and booking vacation as there was before. Another way that you can tell that there's a recession is because of the more more and more people who are being homeless, and you can see more people are being homeless in places that you've never seen people. The homeless people in different places, like if you have certain areas of certain cities in different places like that, where you have the homeless shelters or you have the homeless tent like that, nowadays you're seeing more people like out randomly being homeless, even panhandlers asking for money or different things like that. So you definitely can tell that people are getting evicted, people can't afford their rent, people are more hitting the streets and being homeless because there's more people that's visually homeless that you can see than compared to back in the days. And a lot of the shelters don't even have as much space as they had before. Another sign that there is a recession, and this is a big sign because employers are on hiring freeze. And what I mean by that, some big companies who had big evaluation, and after the whole pandemic, their evaluation of the companies was going well. They were hiring. A lot of companies was hiring. Things was moving well. All kind of business aspect, no matter what kind of aspects, like months after the pandemic up until now, we saw a big rise in evaluation of companies doing well, of the economy doing well. So right now, though, they have to back off of that because the profit is not there as much as it is. The funding is not there as much as it is. The budget is not there as much as it is. So a lot of companies are also cutting back on hiring. So there's not a hiring freeze. And you will see companies out there hiring, but for people with a certain skill set who were working in a certain field, who got laid off and who lost their job because of the pandemic or whatever may have you, those kind of people, they don't want to settle for the job that's like majority out there right now. You can see like there's certain kind of jobs. That's why, I mean, like take a job, but at the same time, they'll be kind of hesitant in filling those jobs because if you making $50 an hour and then you go down to $20 an hour, I don't think you really be up for that. So continuing with that, in addition to that, another reason why, this was like number 7 or something like that, another reason why there's a recession going on, or another reason why you can see there's a recession going on, is because some companies are also doing layoffs. Many companies out there, including those who had the IPO, big evaluation companies, the companies who had the big numbers, who was doing well, those companies are doing a lot of layoffs. A lot of companies are doing layoffs, different kind of sectors are doing layoffs, different fields within the market doing layoffs, different just aspects of any kind of business right now. There's some kind of layoff that's going on, and I'm talking about it could be from profit to non-profit to all kind of business right now because of the funding that's not there. They have to cut back on budgets, so there are layoffs going on. Number 8 would be more people are starting side hustles. So with people getting laid off or people downsizing their job, if they was getting paid $50, now they're getting paid $20. They have to find different ways to supplement those income or to make up to what they was losing. So a lot of people right now, you see a lot of people doing side hustle along with just the inflation. You might have a job as your main source of income, but at the same time, because of inflation, because of rising costs of gas, rising costs of food, rising costs of rent, mortgage, just the interest rate going up, like, what is it, like every other month or every month, they're hiking up the interest rate because of quantitative tightening. But we're going to get into that also in another video. But with the gas price going up and all type of things, people are committing to getting side hustles, finding different ways in order to supplement their income, in order to create more cash flow, which is a great thing to do. It's one of the best things to do, is to have multiple streams of income just in case you have a layoff, just in case you can't get that raise at your job. You used to a 3 to 5% raise, but you end up getting a 2% raise. Just in case things like that happen, you have to have some kind of side hustles. So going forward now, number 9, like I just discussed, number 9 would be, you see prices rising, gas price rising, grocery price rising. Things are going up as we speak. You go into the grocery store, the stocks is limited, it's limited supplies there, but at the same time, the price of those things are going up. So you can tell another reason why the recession is going up, the supply chain, all of that stuff. Recession is going up, and we need to be more like on an offensive with it, like more proactive with it, in order to take opportunity of the recession and make the best of it, instead of just because like it could get tough. It could get tough. So my next reason, and number 10, would be people are selling instead of donating. Maybe you have some old stuff, some old clothes, some old technology, some old TVs, computers, tablets, a phone, old pocketbook, old clothes, different things like that. There's different ways that you can sell these items, like Mercari, Facebook Market Group, Etsy, eBay, Craigslist, a wide variety of platforms that you get up on, and you can post your items for sale, and you can get money for it instead of donating. So a lot of people, instead of donating, people usually go to the Goodwill or go to like the Salvation Army, and you donate stuff. Sometimes they will even give you a slip for tax write-off. Most people not going to use that for tax write-off, but now people are going on these platforms or even going to thrift stores and selling stuff. And even if you go to thrift stores right now, prices are going up. You can see inflation going up at thrift stores. And thrift stores usually the place to go for, like, other items. Instead of paying regular price, you get it off like half off, even 3/4 off. So even the thrift stores right now are having like a upsell, a rise in sales, because people are bringing their stuff to the thrift stores to sell, and people are going to thrift stores to purchase. So that's another way, number 10, how we can see that there is a recession going on, because people are selling their stuff. And if you have some more ideas, leave a comment in the comment section. I did get some of these ideas and information from alux.com. So if you check out alux.com, I'm also include a link to their site into their video for more details on how they break the things down and how they came up with these kind of information. So ladies and gentlemen, that's it right there. Quick rundown of how it's definitely a recession, and it's one of the worst recession in decades. We had one back in 2008 that was all right, but we was able to bounce back. This one is going to be like the ones they say is going to be compared to back in the 70s and stuff like that. So make sure you take advantage of the opportunity. Make it well, be safe, and continue to be great. I'll talk to you later. Peace.